I am struggling a lot. I have this thing in my head that keeps talking to me. Do you think it's possible to completely change your personality?
The way I think, like this year, I'm looking better. I'm thinking better. I am better than I was before.
Okay. This summer, I decided for myself, I'm on a journey to break through. So right now I'm reading the Carnegie book on how to win friends and influence people.
I'm like, oh my God, this is crazy. Why did I do that? I'll make eye contact while they're talking to others and they know that I'm next. Because usually I'm next. Here I am.
You are mine.
And I have no shame in this because I know that's my job.
That's why you're good at sales. Maryna, do not think.
Don't.
Just do.
If you stop and try to reply to every dog barking at you on the way, you're not going to get anywhere.
You're listening to Just Fake It Coming to LA podcast. Now here are your hosts, Nora and Maryna.
Hey everybody, happy summer. Just Fake It podcast coming to LA is here, and I'm Nora and Maryna.
Hello, hello.
Maryna, you look beautiful today.
Thank you. You look beautiful too. We're finally matching.
Yeah, we finally called each other before what
we're wearing today.
Because we never matched.
Yeah, Just Fake It is the only podcast where we dress up every time so you can listen how pretty we are.
Exactly. So that's why not just listen on Spotify, but also look us at YouTube because that's more entertaining, guys.
Yeah.
So summer is crazy.
It's almost over. I can't believe.
I know. It's almost over. And I'm like, oh my God, I just flew back yesterday and I've been everywhere and I have so many stories to tell again. But just tell me, like, how are you doing? How was your creative work and how was your creative life?
Oh, how's my creative life? Like, let's talk about where we're standing right now.
That's true.
Okay, I didn't travel that much, which I still dream about it. Like, I was checking my Instagram, everybody's like on Mykonos.
The usual stuff, Ibiza, Mykonos, yeah.
I know.
We're like, the usual stuff.
But then at the same time, like, I'm getting jealous. Like, you know, if people are like, oh, they're like, oh, like, getting vacations. And I'm like, wait a second, Maryna, you live in Los Angeles. They don't live in Los Angeles. You do.
That's true. Be grateful.
Yeah. I'm like, yeah. Okay, let's keep that in mind. Anyway, right now, what am I doing? In terms of creative work, I'm in a little bit of a plateau, if I can say so. But I am trying to push myself out of it. I'm organizing a shoot. Like, I'm going to do the big shoot next week. Crazy. I don't know. I already texted everybody. Like, I have makeup artists, models, stylists. And
you didn't call me.
And I don't have an idea yet.
About the ideas, I always was saying that the best photo shoots, the best creative ideas I had was with you.
Oh,
so
thank you.
Like, and I've shot with, lots of photographers before. But you just have this like high fashion approach. And you're a director. I mean, your movies are amazing too. But when it comes to like, you love fashion. You do.
I am.
And as long as I know you, you've been just one of my inspirations.
Yeah, that's something that's passionate me about. I remember once I walked in, I was working for a company back in Ukraine, and we were going to shoot a fashion show. And it was my first fashion show. And I walk in there. And it was so crazy because it was the fashion show was based in the abandoned bus kind of not stop, but like where you keep all the buses, like,
Oh yeah, like a depot kind of.
Yeah. And it was so pretty, and like all the like outfits were so pretty. It was like a Ukrainian designer, and I was just like, wow, like I had like
goosebumps.
Goosebumps, and I was like, this is like really inspires me because I look at other guys, right, who doing camera, and they're like, they don't care, it's just another job. They're like, oh, why is this guy wearing a makeup?
Yeah, people on set they just wear like this. The soul must be soundproof.
Yeah,
and then they just wear whatever with the belt so they can put on the belt their water and like all this tapes and stuff.
Yeah, just like
there's not much fashion on the set, on film set or television set.
Even on a fashion shoot set,
it's not.
Not
if you see Maryna behind the scenes, you'll be like, no, it's not Maryna we know.
Yeah, I don't look like that when I'm working. But anyway, and coming back, it's just something that inspires me a lot. But again, I am struggling a lot because again, I always I have this thing in my head that keeps talking to me. I know it sounds weird, but like, you're not good enough. This idea is not original enough. Everybody did that 1,000,000 times.
Is it like an alter ego, which is the name is Shitty Masha?
Shitty Masha.
I don't know. Let's hear to that.
It is this
let's
crazy
shut her up.
person sitting in me, right? And it's just like, oh no, you're not good. You're not gonna,
Yeah.
Like, who are you trying to?
Who do you think you are? Kind of questions, right?
So lately, this summer, I decided for myself, I'm on a journey to break through, to get rid of this voice and try to work on my confidence in terms of even like not only being confident when I walk in a room, when I speak to people, but also being confident in what I do. So right now I'm reading I bought a bunch of books for myself. So right now I'm reading the Carnegie book on how to win friends and influence people. Very interesting, a little hard for me, but I'm practicing every day. I'm trying to speak to more people. I'm trying to bring the energy. Like, again, it's incredibly hard for me.
Also, there is another book
But-
I can suggest. I'm sorry. for
Yeah,
interrupting.
no, go.
So when I was going through a tough period of time when I thought that like, I'm just like nobody, like I don't know what I'm doing with my life. I'm trying to do acting, film. It was like COVID times.
Yeah.
And I realized how unnecessary, like nobody needs, like I didn't feel like essential worker or essential human being during this time. And I'm like, why do we need the whole acting kind of thing or TV
Yeah.
shows or whatsoever? Like TV shows saved people from boredom.
Yeah.
But at the same time, no one really needs me. And then you live in a society as a human being and you want to be wanted. And I had so much struggles. And then I kind of stumbled upon this book, which is called The Subtle Art of Not Giving an F.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, some people say it's a book for losers. Some people say, but at this moment where I felt so low, I read this book and I was like, I'm just overthinking.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
we can't just be always going up the hill. Sometimes we stop.
Exactly.
Sometimes we go backwards. It's just life. It's not a straight line.
Yes. No, actually, the thing that works for me, that I manipulate myself into doing that. So I'm like, Maryna, do not think.
Don't.
Just do. So, like, for example, I'm organizing this shoot. I'm told you, like, it's next Tuesday. I have everybody signed up. And I was like, and I'm texting everybody, I'm going to send you references shortly. But I don't have them. Like, I don't know what I'm going to shoot yet. Like, I have a general idea.
Just fake it.
Right? But it's like, if I overthink it, I would never text these people. I would never reach out to people and say that. I was like, don't think about it. Just reach out to them, text them, agree with everybody. And then you kind of put yourself in a position when you have no choice. You have to do something.
In my work,
Yeah.
I think I'm persuasive that sometimes I get to the point where people start like hating me and then I decide to stop.
Okay.
So I have no problem like reaching out to people.
Yeah.
And like, unless they clearly show me that, girl, it's time to stop.
Okay.
That's it. Because I don't know, maybe throughout the years I've developed that skill where I just don't just care.
Yeah.
Because for me, every human being is the same. And usually when you reach out to them, it's to create business, to create art, to create something. It's not just for you.
Yes.
Most of the time it's for them.
Yeah, of course.
The problem is they just don't know about this opportunity. And your job is to deliver this opportunity. And I feel like everybody who works in a space of creative business or whatsoever, when you're selling your services, you are the product, right? The product you create, but you are
Yes.
also the product. So lots of people like learn hard skills like, let's say the data and all this like science. I mean, it's vital, it's important.
Yeah.
But then delivery to the masses, raising capital or creating, putting it out there and all of that stuff, it takes soft skills, which people always undermine. They're like, well, that's how everybody thinks. Like, oh,
Absolutely.
it's not important. You got to learn the hard skills so you always can get a job, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, how about selling your services?
Yes.
And I feel like every person, especially business owner, creative person, everybody out there need to know sales.
Yes.
And I mean, some people do it already without knowing it, but sales takes lots of stamina to do.
It does. Like I
Because-
don't think I'm good at it yet.
And it takes time.
Of course.
Like what I'm doing now is something I've never thought I'm going to do.
Yeah. So you've never been trained to do sales, but
Not really, no.
okay. But you kind of tapped into it and you're just like, oh, I'm good at it.
When I was 16,
Uh-huh.
15 or 16, I actually started selling like some perfume, even like at the bazaar with the bags in my hand.
Okay.
Like that kind of stuff.
Okay.
Then I worked in a supermarket and I never really considered it like sales because I just needed money when I was a student and then pharmacy. But what I've realized most of the time, especially in our countries, people hate salespeople.
Yeah, it depends.
They're like, oh, you're
They
trying
hate
to sell me.
bad salespeople.
Yeah, they're like, you try to sell me, you're trying to take my money.
Yes.
But there's always another approach.
Yes.
Sales is not about taking somebody's money, even
Yes.
though OG it
It
is.
is.
But you are helping them. So you have to create this narrative of, which also has to be very honest. You have to create this narrative where it's a collaboration, where
Yes.
you and them coming together, and it's going to create beneficial agreements and
Yeah, so you
beneficial
help each
future.
other, right?
Exactly. So you don't sell, you're
Yes.
solving their problem. For example, when it comes to your shoot, right? Or
Yes.
artistic, like,
Yes.
they want it.
Yeah, of
Models want it. Models want a great photographer, plus they want to be styled and the great makeup
Yes.
artist. Everything comes together. So when you say it, you're actually giving them, I don't want to say maybe a favor, but you are giving them an opportunity to solve their problem and grow. And if you have this mindset,
Yes.
it changes completely, entirely the whole process.
No, I understand, but also like again, speaking about me, I feel like I owe this people, even though I'm paying for the studio.
Oh, it's
I'm bringing everybody in, like
Yeah.
I'm doing photography. I'm delivering the final results, but I still feel that like I owe them
because
And I
it's
was like,
responsibility you're feeling.
It is.
But you're mixing responsibility with the part owning. Nobody owns
Anything.
anybody.
I know.
But you got to come up like, okay, you are responsible because you're a leader.
Yes.
Because you're creating this opportunity.
Yeah.
And just breathe it out. And even if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. If it happens, it happens. But you always have to make sure that fear comes responsibility.
No, absolutely.
Obviously, there is nothing like everybody is afraid of something. There is not a single person who is not afraid of anything.
I hope so, because
We're all human beings.
Sometimes I feel like I'm the only one scared, and everybody else is just so cool, and like nobody's
Just me,
scared.
everybody's okay. Maybe they have a narcissistic disorder if they're completely like
Okay.
blank. But everybody have feelings, and all we have to remember, like I always tell people too, like everybody is a human being.
Yes.
And even if it's a star, a celebrity, like everybody's a human being at the end of the day. Be normal, deliver your job, but at the same time, because you're creating it, feel some sort of even pride. And
Yeah.
this kind of responsibility should give you even confidence in this case. Through fear, you get
It
to the
should.
confidence. Yeah, but if you're completely always confident and you don't have a slight amount of like doubt, well, that's
Yes.
not normal either. So you got to accept it. And just trust me, when I do my work and I
Yes.
work with some people who are very, very like famous, let's say, right? You have to make sure because they want to work with professionals, they want to work with stars.
Yes.
And then if you behave, and I told about this before, if you behave like a fan or the one who wants to sell, the one because they don't trust you, they think you want to trick them into something.
Yes.
No, that's why you got to be like, okay, listen. So here's the business. Here I can help you out.
Yes.
Like I love you. Like I love your work. I want to help you out. But here's what I'm offering. I think it's gonna be great. You know?
Okay.
If they say no, what are you losing? If they say yes, amazing.
No, true. What do you think? I just wanted to ask you this question because I was watching a movie recently. It's a stupid movie. It's about the spy or something, but whatever. The topic was about changing your personality. Do you think it's possible to completely change your personality?
Oh, that's a great question. I've been asked that before. What I think, whatever is developed and was put in us during childhood and growing up part was absolutely essential. Those habits, you know,
Yes.
those worldview. And
Yeah.
I'm purely speaking from my own perspective because I'm well-traveled person, I'm well-educated person, but I'm coming from a very conservative background, meaning that certain things for me are still a taboo or things I don't understand.
Yeah.
Did I change? Absolutely, yes. Do I think outside of box and my mind is completely different? Yes. But the values are core sometimes. And they shift. There is a line you can step over and then move on. But I feel like the core of values might stay the same for a human being. And like, you know, certain behaviors like optimistic or like you want to, you know, you're just childish, you want to dance or things like that. Can a person change completely? I don't believe so.
Let's say if you want to, right? Like for example,
It's
you
a
have
growth though.
It's a
not
growth, you
change.
think?
I think it's slightly changed, but
Okay.
it's a growth. For example, if you look at your pictures 15 years ago, I don't want to
Yes.
show them to anybody. Or 10 years ago, just no style, like crooked teeth, no thank you.
I know.
But like what now, I every year the way I think like this year I'm looking better, I'm thinking better, I am better than I was before.
Okay.
And if my goal is this, just becoming better, obviously,
So you
like
think it's
you
just
change.
basically about growing, about developing and
Yeah.
opening kind of new aspects of your personality?
I think,
maybe?
and
then-
removing the things you which don't serve you anymore, like bad habits.
But
or
then in
bad
the end, if
people.
you look at yourself 10 years ago and now, you're a different
You
person.
might be, absolutely, but
Okay.
it's still you.
I guess.
With your own heart, with your own soul, the things you love from childhood, like a
Yes.
chocolate, it stays with you.
Oh, I love chocolate.
Exactly. Or your mom's home cooking, like the
Yes.
things like that stay with you. That's why I think the word change is amazing, but I like the word growth more.
Okay.
Expanding.
I love it. I love it. No, I didn't tell you because also one of the things I'm working on in terms of confidence and stuff, I started my dance classes last week.
I saw.
Right? And it is very out of my
Shake
comfort
that
zone.
ass.
Even though I used to dance when I was little, right? And it was fine for me, but I stopped and I never felt like this is my thing because like I'm not very plastic. I'm not very like good in movement. But again, I'm trying to change the way my brain works and not say that I'm not good, that I'm not like I need to be good to myself. But anyway, this dance class, it's heels dance, right? So it's very sexy, it's very sensual, very hard. But one of the exercises we did yesterday, which was very interesting, and it's a dance exercise, but it's also a confidence exercise where there is like a 30 women in a class, right? And the teacher is like, okay, right now you're gonna walk around very sexy, you're gonna be touching yourself and making eye contact with everybody. It was so uncomfortable.
Really?
Like for me, like I would not make eye contact with people usually, like the people I don't know, or like, you know.
Would you, for example,
No, go ahead.
for example, like you're sitting in a room and you know this guy is like this, a person who can help you throughout the job. He's a producer, let's
Yeah.
say, and you know he's a producer, and you are at the same party. Would you come up and sit next to him and start talking?
Oh hell no.
See, that's like,
I'm trying. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm trying.
and that's fine.
Yes.
Because guess what? Majority of the people on this planet do not know how to do it.
Yes.
It's normal. These things you can develop and grow. Again, you don't have to change yourself. You're still you.
Yeah.
I love you because of who you are, right?
Yeah.
But you can still like learn those traits.
Yeah, and become better and better. Again, it's the topic about making it in LA, and this is something that I feel I have a lack of to be able to be successful in this city, right? Because you have to talk to people. You have to go there. You have to like the comfort zone doesn't exist in this city.
It doesn't.
Like
and I
no.
just flew from New York,
Yes.
and the difference is like they just say very straight and blunt everything to you, like you suck. But then you grow, and then the whole city is very ambitious, very greedy,
Yeah.
very like cutthroat. You know, LA is, people underestimate LA. People think LA is not like that.
Yeah.
People think LA is chill, like everybody's nice. But come on, everybody's faking it. Everybody's still thinking about how to make more money.
No,
Like,
absolutely.
how to grow, how to make it into Hollywood industry, like business, or
Absolutely.
how to like buy this and this and that. That's why they're
Yeah.
showing off, right? Also, the way you talk, right? Some people just like talk. In LA, there are lots of talkers. That's why
A lot.
a lot.
I
That's the
agree.
difference between New York. New York is just always on point. Like either you can connect on business here or no. In LA, it's like a lot of talk. Yeah, babe, let's do. Of course, yeah, let's
Yeah,
connect. We're gonna-
but you have to. This is how the city works, right?
Yes, but the real professionals, they'll just know like this. You still have to talk to them, but then
Yeah.
you always have to bring an offer to the table. The offer
Okay.
always must be ready.
How you can be useful to them.
Of course.
Basically.
Yeah, because otherwise, okay, you exchange numbers and then
Nothing
then what?
happens.
And then what? It's just, I don't want to say people use each other, and no, it's just like people don't have time to waste just for the
No,
talk.
again, it's a mutual like
Yeah, as I said, mutually beneficial
Absolutely. And
partnership.
it's not bad of helping people. Like I love helping people. If somebody asks me for help, I would be super happy to help. You know, if I can. But myself to ask somebody for help, I'm like, oh, I don't want to bother this person. But again, you have to understand that it's all right helping people, and other people probably want to help you too, because it makes them feel good. It's also beneficial for them because they like, oh, I feel good, I helped this person, he's happy, I'm amazing.
Yeah, it's it's a personal trait of like enjoying the part of serving, which is beautiful, and I think everybody should have that, but not everybody do.
Yeah.
unless it's beneficial for them, especially in this city.
Yeah.
I can talk a lot about it, but I just, you know, like now I do sales, right? Like, and I've been in sales for some time because I
Yes.
always had to have a job to do what I actually do besides modeling and film industry and producing,
Yes.
right? And I've worked in different fields. And I always say in sales, it's not about the product you're selling. It's about who you are.
Yes.
If they don't like you and you're giving them the best offer, they're not going to take it. They have to like you first, meaning that you have to be likable. But you
Okay.
can't pretend and be likable. Exactly. It's
Okay.
not like you're faking it, obviously. Like
Can you
lots of things.
train yourself to be likable?
You just got to always read the room.
Okay.
You read the room around you and you see what kind of like talks are there and everything. And there's just like, I never have a problem to come and sit down to people like and start talking to them if I
Okay.
find them interesting.
Okay.
And and at the end of the day, you find some mutual. You gotta always find something mutual and then talk about that.
But were you always like this, or did you make yourself?
Oh, I made myself.
Okay.
I made myself 100%.
So you were struggling at first.
Absolutely, absolutely. I was faking big time. I didn't know how to walk the high heels. Like I was such a tomboy.
Yeah.
I thought the imposter syndrome. Jesus Christ. I think I still have it. Sometimes I think
I
like,
have it all the time.
I think about myself that I'm like, oh my God, this is crazy. Why did I do that? Sometimes I fake it so much. Like, for example, in a work call, you have to be professional, right? But
Yeah.
sometimes I come out so harsh. And I get these comments about me all the time. Like, Nora is just like, she's just like animal. She works like crazy. She's harsh. Like, they are intimidated. And they're like, okay. And then they're like, yo, you were too harsh. It was passive aggressive. This was this and that. Because I do have this, like, understand, I'm the sweetest person, hopefully, when it comes to the personal life. And you know, I'm always there for you. I'm a great friend and stuff like that. But when it comes to work, sometimes I just like, I have so much to just come out like, okay, we're going to do this and this and that. Or I can be very pushy and be like, okay, tomorrow we're going to sign this contract. Right. But they don't want that. But sometimes they're like going crazy about it. And I'm like, okay, it was too much. So I'm still learning. I'm still learning. When it comes to you, for example, you don't know how to do it. Sometimes I overdo it.
Okay.
It happens, especially when you're overwhelmed. But overall, I taught myself, I feel like at some point in my life, early on in stages, I just told myself, well, you know, this celebrity or this soccer player or this and that, they're still humans. They have one hand. I mean, one head. One head. Listen, maybe some people do have one hand. Come on.
All right.
Some people have two heads. I don't know.
Okay.
So one head, two hands, right? And all of this, it's all the people have emotions. All the people want something. All the people dream about some things.
Yes.
You know, we the basic settings of a human being are the same. Things
That's
we
true.
want,
Yeah.
And then some people, do achieve it. Some people want it. Some people are thriving. And then what is the problem? To just come and ask us. You're not bothering as much. You just like say, I'm sorry, excuse me. Like, would you just, give me 30 seconds or something?
But do you have like for me, for example, I found something that works is not thinking. Just like do not think about it, just do it.
Yeah,
right?
because just do it.
Do you have your trick that helps you to get whatever you want or like to talk to whatever you want?
Well, it depends. It's for work. I know I need to. And then I'll just make sure that it's a convenient time. So you got to see if the person is alone or if he's in the middle of conversation, you have to wait. You can't just interrupt things. And then you got to see the surroundings, like what kind of, is it a party or is it like a business conference? And then be nice, And first, usually I do not engage right away. I come. I check the surroundings. I see the person I need to talk to.
Copy. Do not engage. Do not engage.
Do not engage. 5 minutes. Do not engage. So I read the room. For everybody, it's such an, like, I'm telling you from my life experience, everybody who is in sales or whatever in life, you're coming somewhere. The first thing you have to read the room.
Yes.
Read the room meaning like who is around? What are they talking about? Like what's going on? And then I usually know who I'm coming for. So, I find who I'm coming for. And then I'm like, who is, like, I let them talk. I let her see. I see her mood, like what's going on and his mood. And then I'll be like, just quietly, like I'll stand. And they'll see me. I'll make eye contact while they're talking to others. And they know that I'm next. Because usually I'm next. Here I am.
You are mine.
Yeah. And I'm just like grilling them with my eyes. I'm just like looking around, but I'm like, I'm here. I'm still here.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And I have no shame in
Okay.
this because I know that that's my job.
It's probably you. That's why you're good at sales, because you have no shame. It's just like,
I have no shame.
I have to. I need this.
I went to medical school. People say if you have no shame, go to medical school because there is no forbidden topics or whatsoever.
Okay.
It's not even like no shame. It's persuasiveness in a normal matter is good. Why not? And then you come and you introduce yourself and you already have an arm. Like, okay, I have like a business proposal. I have this and that. You might be interested. You're actually beneficial for you. You got to highlight that they need it, not you.
Okay.
But sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but most of the times it does. And you always have to be a human being. Like you always make sure that they're relaxed with you, not tense.
Yes.
Because lots of people get like protective and that's normal. That's
But
absolutely
how do you
normal.
make sure they're relaxed? What like do you have little tricks?
Well, there is another thing in
Okay.
sales. So besides reading the room, you start the conversation. You never start with the sale or the business. You start with a compliment.
Small
First
talk.
of all, you see small talk. You got to know, it's like a detective kind of thing. For example, if you're going to, let's say, his workplace or a cafe, or you see how they dressed and everything, you can already kind of have an idea what they like,
Okay.
what they dislike. Do your research in this 5 minutes when you're reading the room. And then you're like, oh my God, like you're wearing this. I love this brand. Or, oh, you went to Kilimanjaro. It's my bucket list. Like it's amazing. And they love it. Because
So
like,
do you do research before about this person? Or?
no, I mean, not like if you have a tool, of course.
Okay.
But most of the times you don't. And you kind of just like right there.
Okay.
Just warm it up. Just I don't want to say sweet talk. That's how every conversation should start. You don't start like, I don't know you. And you just start giving me some information like, oh yeah, like it's a great party. Like, oh, we met, or maybe we have mutual friends. So I don't know. Show me like just so many things you can say.
Okay.
Or like, you look beautiful. Oh, how was your Friday? Oh my God, the traffic was. And you share your personal information as well. That's how you build the trust.
Okay.
It's like, oh, the traffic wasn't. Oh, just like, oh, you were going to New York tomorrow. Oh, I just like, it's so humid there, girl. It's so humid. Like that kind of thing. That's just like 5-10 minutes.
Okay.
And then like, actually, out of the blue. Oh, actually, yeah. So yeah, like I work for this company, or I'm doing this modeling shoot. Like, and I think, like, what? I was looking at you. You look great. Like, oh my God, I think we should collaborate. I actually have this shoot next week.
Okay.
We can do that. I already, with a bunch of designers, and we're actually sponsored. Sometimes you
Okay.
just add up things, and that's it. They just get them interested. Trust me, sometimes it doesn't work, but most of the times it does.
Yes.
And if you don't try, then what?
No, absolutely. I'm also thinking that, like, again, I'm reading the book and trying all this, like dancing, whatever, that people are so focused on themselves that they don't really care about
They
you.
don't care.
They don't care about you. They don't even.
You know what helps?
What?
There was a video like when we're talking about our doubts and like overthinking and the problems and that my life is over because I'm 30 and I'm still like, not in the
Yeah.
all these things. So like I'm not a millionaire like I wanted at 25, like overachieving, like whatever bullshit is out there. Forbes 30 under
Yes.
30. Craziest category because I always wanted to be 30 under 30. And then I turned 30. And I'm like, you know what? This is just completely how to say, discriminating category in Forbes. I think it needs to be removed for sure. But the way I think about it, like in this huge universe, sometimes I saw the video, in this huge galaxy universe, you were like on the planet Earth.
Yeah, exactly.
You're like in America, Los Angeles, you're like right here.
Yes.
And if you think about it, that
Yeah.
how many winters, summers, springs and autumns we're gonna have, like what, about 70 in average? And
Can we not think about that?
no. But if you think about those existential questions, you
Yeah.
realize the question you're thinking about now
It's not.
is
It's
nothing, and just go for it.
Yes.
Just go for it because life is short. That's it. Because you'd rather do it and you get, people say no
Yeah.
to you. At
You
least
get
you tried.
rejected.
Yeah. What is it? Rejection. Big deal.
I mean, for somebody, it is a big deal.
Yeah, for somebody who don't have, like, you got to create especially in the city, you have to
Yes.
develop a thick skin. Do you think I don't cry in the pillow at nights? Or am I always like, oh yeah, we got to go get, of course, everybody do
Yeah.
have moments. But at the same time, you go out there, you can imagine that it's a jungle and you're wearing the armor. Or you can be just
Alright.
open and be like, okay, no is okay. Somebody
Okay.
takes it spiritually. Somebody takes it as art of war. Somebody takes it like different way. Everybody have their own process.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, remember, the rejection is the worst thing can happen. And comparing to lots of things happening, it's nothing.
I remember when I was at film school, and we had this class on actually applying to jobs and stuff, right? And our teacher was like, you need to keep applying, you need to keep calling them, you need to keep doing stuff. And you know what's the worst that can happen to you? They say yes. This is scary. If they say no,
yes.
this is not scary.
One time, my acting teacher was telling me that the guy was sending out the agents, his resumes, but nobody ever replied. And one time, he literally glued a shoe to his envelope, and it got delivered with a shoe on top of it.
Okay.
And obviously, agent was interested, like, envelope with a shoe, and he opens the envelope. There's a letter from an actor. Everybody told me that I need to get my foot at the door. The letters didn't work, so here's my foot. So it's so genius. Yeah,
so good.
It's so good because guess what? He didn't care.
Yeah.
What is he losing? Nobody's replying, but he glued the shoe on the envelope, and it worked.
I love it.
It worked.
No, I recently saw something like this too. The guy started printing out his resume on the box of donuts and just sending donuts to the offices, and it's just like on the box of his resume. I mean, be creative,
Be creative, and they're gonna actually love it. Or like there was a girl, like an influencer, and her brand is like a sugar baby kind of type influence. LA, I mean, right?
Yeah.
And she literally, what she does? She takes like this big papers and she goes to Beverly Hills like, I'm looking for a sugar daddy.
Oh,
And she stands right there.
okay.
Or I'm looking for, they became
Yeah.
so mainstream. People, they just gotta go for it.
no, I know, because you look at these people confident, and like, oh, they're so crazy, but secretly everybody wants to be them, right? But it's very hard to go there, to go out, just be yourself, just not being scared of what other people gonna think about you.
Well, because people are always gonna talk. Even if you're like 100% by book living right
Yes.
in society mind, like they will always talk about it.
No,
And I've tried
absolutely.
both. No, I didn't try that extremes, but what I realized is that whatever makes you happy, whatever is aligned with your values, just go for it. Whatever is legal too. Please. just whatever is legal. It's important because lots of people can take it to the levels of extremes. No, whatever is legal, whatever makes you happy, just go for it. Because at the end of the day, when you're on the deathbed, just think what you're gonna think about. Like experiences. That's what we collect. Like what we achieve, what we've done, the experiences. Were we actually happy? And trust me, nobody really thought about like how many days at the office I spent, or like how many vacations were not taken, or how many artistic projects were not like done.
Yeah.
It's all important to do while you are alive, while you have the energy. And why would you hold yourself back?
Absolutely. And it's important to know that being scared is normal, that everybody out there is scared of something. Everybody there is thinking about themselves, not about you. Nobody cares about you in a good way. When you're interesting, people obviously care about you, but they don't pay attention to like something that you pay attention in yourself. And we're all trying to improve all the time.
And the dogs bark, but how do you say caravan? Like I don't know if caravan in English, like this.
Caravan идёт.
Caravan идёт, собаки лают. It's like when in ancient times the trading were on the backs of horses and the camels. How do you call? I don't know.
You made it way too complicated.
Well, I made it way too complicated. But anyway, you are going in your direction, no matter if the dogs bark on the way. If you stop and try to reply to every dog barking at you on the way, you're not going to get anywhere. So if you have the focus and the vision, just go.
Yeah.
And whatever it takes for you, again, with your value system and the core of your values, go for it.
Yeah. And remember, we're going with you. We're also
going with
struggling.
you.
We're like sitting here, but and pretending to be so cool and important, but we're scared. Like I'm scared.
We suck sometimes, guys. So that's why we are here with Just Fake It podcast coming to LA, because we want you to feel it with us, because we're not perfect and nobody is.
Nobody's perfect, and we're just faking it. We just faked it complete episode just right now.
I love it. We love you guys, and we want you to believe in yourselves, just like we inspire each other to believe in yourselves. And we are so excited to see you next week.
Yes, brought to you by Invoice Media.
Bye, guys.